Take a good look around. Communities like this in the Isaac region have come a long way in a very short period of time, and they've done so with a special range of people and population issues. Issues that have not been encountered until now. Issues that only happen as specific requirements collide. What you're looking at is a fourth-generation mining community with a real difference. You see, today, like any other day, this town's population doubles as its long-term permanent residents, its more recent and growing permanent residents, are joined by thousands of non-resident workers. The infrastructure burdens are enormous, but with a heavy emphasis on developing a non-resident workforce sees the benefits for the community slow down to a trickle. So it's about balance and adaptability. For the main, residents and non-residents share a few things in common. Firstly, they come together to drive the economic engine room of Australia, the mining sector. Secondly, they strive to make a living and create lifestyle for themselves and their families. Thirdly, they seek out that which we pride ourselves on here in Australia: security and choice. Security of self, security of family, in every sense of the word. Choice in how we choose to live it, how we choose to find that much demanded sense of place. But this special environment with its workforce demands brings a mix of what is best described as new 21st century issues that need a 21st century approach and focus. These communities must be adaptive communities. Communities that must plan differently for the future, for that sense of place. That must incorporate a realistic sense of now and today, with needs, wants, and desires for a tomorrow. History has told us that for mining centres to boom, grow, and become vibrant communities, they must be built on the cornerstone of their generational heritage. That's what adaptive communities is about. In a bold move to establish a direction for the future, Isaac Regional Council has embarked on an unprecedented community consultation process which sets a blueprint for mining communities for the future. Mayor Cedric Marshall explains.
We have communities that have been designed back in the 70s. Now we've got to work with towns designed for the 21st century. And it's all about community consultation today. We need that feedback from the community to see what they would like. It's not just council's ideas, it's got to be ideas from the community as well.
Adaptive communities is an 8-week process which has been years in the planning. It begins with the framing of 6 concepts based on feedback from residents and non-resident workers. These concepts aim to establish community discussion about a direction that will ensure a livable region for the future with meaningful and workable solutions for today. They outline different densities of accommodation ranging from 50 to 2,500 rooms, which in turn provides opportunities for a variety of adaptive uses. Architect Graham Legerton from Thompson Adsett explains.
There's an opportunity here to create not just buildings that are addressing the immediate use and an immediate need, but also to create buildings that are far more sustainable and buildings that can be adaptive and used for various purposes during mine life and post-mine life, such as schools, training facilities, health facilities, residential facilities. So it's critical. It's about providing choice and not just one outcome. The key for us really has been to humanise each design, to go away from the traditional camp model of the isolated monotony to something much more engaging, something much more of a residential scale and with a sense of community and belonging, a place you want to be.
Mining camps are often perceived as disorientating, isolating and institutionalised environments which lack integration with the wider community and townscape. Irrespective of the scale of units required, the proposed adaptive communities concept avoids the creation of camps and endeavours to create homes, communities and towns. Adaptive communities mean that what we create today must be flexible enough to be adapted to suit tomorrow. What may be residential solutions today needs to be planned to be adapted to meet the social, medical and educative needs of our tomorrow. Housing, learning and research centres, community halls, trade training facilities, health centres, clinics, workplaces and commercial precincts. The importance of adaptability cannot be understated. Scott Riley, ISAC Regional Council Executive Director of Planning and Environmental Services.
It's the first time that ISAC Regional Council, in a third-party collaborative sort of way, with the communities identified what their future may or may not look like. It is very ambitious, it's unique in terms of its circumstance within mining regions. It's something that we are looking to do to actually set the scene for our future. In the past, it's been industry driven to a large extent. The community has evolved over the last 40 years and it's been circumstances that have led us to this point in time. The industry is changing, our mining industry and our communities are responding. Adaptive communities is the process that we're engaging people on to create a sustainable long-term future for our regions.
This local community is typical. Residents who love their town. They're workers in many fields who've come to work with or support others. Some have been those who once lived in miners' accommodation, but settled here, and who now call the region home. The shape of their future is important, vital. The adaptive communities process has been designed to engage the community at all levels. Not household by household, but person by person, irrespective of age. All input becomes crucial to a meaningful outcome. So, access to information and community engagement is provided in a variety of ways, via website, personal liaison, community survey, and a flood of information. Social Research Director for the project, Deborah Ray from Regional Social Development Centre.
The physical environment is really important in terms of how it influences the social impact. So if we have a physical environment that encourages people to integrate, encourages them to be part of their community, then that creates a whole different type of community. If people have the opportunity to talk to others, to get to know others, then that creates some accountability. They're more likely to be nice to each other, to help each other, to create some kind of social cohesion. And that's what this process is really all about.
Key mining centres can no longer look to workforce solutions that are engineered to be just project-specific. Adaptive communities engineer for the future. Jan Anfrans from JCA Guiding Solutions says the approach has evolved over a number of years.
For the last several months, the community has been talking to the elected members and to senior staff, saying there's got to be a better way for the futures of our communities. Perhaps what we're doing isn't the best solution for a sustainable future. So this process is all about the communities of the ISAC regional townships to actually inform Council what they would like to see in their future so that Council can be planning for the future that their communities want. We'll have a clear understanding of the concerns, the issues, and also the positive nature and the vibrancy that already exists in these communities. So that information is going to inform planning decisions in the future. So when the ISAC Regional Council is asked to consider a development, they can, with absolute trust and clarity, say, our communities of ISAC Regional Council don't want this, they want something else. And so they will be able to, with confidence, present the case for the community.
The adaptive communities process means that for the first time, communities are engaged in shaping a future.
The census doesn't give us a true figure in our population, especially with the transient population, and I guess resources, infrastructure. We certainly need money that comes back into health with what we're dealing with.
It's very important that we be considered in this process so that we can actually consider our options down the track, as including police numbers, so that we can have an input as to where we can see the community going and what type of people that we basically want in the community.
I think integration is a very important part of the community. It's going to be difficult on the council's part to achieve that, I think, but I believe it is very important. And I think it's a great initiative that the council's taken to put this into place.
And the sustainability is that the population is coming, but they're not spending in the communities, they're not contributing socially, they're only drawing on the social and hard infrastructure of the areas. Is that some of the concern?
That's exactly right. Basically, we've got a very strong and growing economy locally, but that means that we're in a situation where we're not actually getting any local benefit. The spend is actually occurring outside our region.
The outcome is adaptive communities. Communities that look ahead to the future with a flexible, forward-thinking approach. Communities with families, people who live, learn, love and share in the region, and people who spend blocks of time here as workers. It all adds to the livability of the region. It must become a region that can adapt to suit specific needs at any point in time, then can physically adapt to provide a meaningful and quality lifestyle for a future that shapes generations, a future that is assured for industry, a future for Australia and Queensland's prosperity.